Hello, welcome to this video lecture on elements of fiction. This topic is included in Module 1 of the core paper Reading Fiction, prescribed for the third semester BA English Language and Literature students of the University of Kerala. Now, writers use various elements of fiction to narrate their stories in a very effective manner. So, let's take a look at some of the elements of fiction. The first and most important element of fiction is the plot. It is considered the most important because it was mentioned by Aristotle in his Poetics when he discusses the important elements of a tragedy. Aristotle has said that plot is the soul of a tragedy, and the Greek term used by Aristotle is mythos. Now, plot basically means an outline of the story, and it is a series of events. A conventional plot would essentially have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Now, a plot may or may not have a chronological sequence of events. It all depends on the author. It is the author's preference or choice how to narrate a story. Now, because it basically narrates on the story of a fictional work, plot is also referred to as a narrative. Now, let's look at the second element of fiction, theme. So, what do you mean by the theme of fictional work? Theme is the unifying and central concept of plot. So, theme is a recurring idea. It is an overlapping idea that you find from the beginning till the end of a fictional work. It tends to be abstract. For example, a novel may be based on a theme of love. A play may be based on a theme of revenge, as Shakespeare's Hamlet. Another concept is motive. Now, motives are also recurrent ideas or images that you find throughout a work of art, throughout a fictional work. For example, in the Amir Khan movie Lagan, cricket is a motive used, but a motive is a more concrete image. Now, example of a theme would be the theme of Samuel Beckett's most famous absurd play, Waiting for Godot. In this play, the theme is waiting. Now, some authors also use symbols to signify the theme. Like, for example, the dove is a universal symbol that stands for the theme of peace, and a red rose again is another universal symbol that signifies the theme of romantic love. A theme often elevates the status of a fictional work. It can elevate it to an archetype or even a myth. So the next important element of fiction is characterization. It is taken from the Greek term character, which means a distinctive nature, of a distinctive nature. Characters are by definition linked to the specific context to which they belong. They are parts of a literary sequence linked or involved in a plot. Early novels excelled in physical descriptions of the characters, as in the novels of Charles Dickens. Children's literature also contained elaborate descriptions of characters. Now, modern and contemporary novels mainly focus on the psychological state and the development of the characters. Some authors use telling names to refer to, or to describe certain traits of the characters. Now, for example, the character named Scrooge, Uncle Scrooge in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, when you hear the name of the character itself, when you read the name of the character itself, you understand that he is a selfish and miserly person. Another examples of Dickensian characters is Murdstone. The word murd, from the beginning of this name murd, we understand that this could be a murderer. Now, modern writers also use biblical or mythological names that function as allusions, such as Ahab or Ishmael in Melville's Moby Dick. James Joyce, in a portrait of the artist as a young man, has used the term Daedalus. which is a mythological character. Another dimension of character is the depth of characterization. Aristotle in Poetics considers character as a mere tool to make the correct choices, thereby reducing the character to just a moment in the plot, an event, or an act of choosing. According to Emerson, character is like a crossword puzzle. Until the Renaissance, character was also a genre pioneered by the Greek dramatists. Now, this genre presented a brief sketch of a familiar social type or a stereotype called stock character. Now, these generic characters are, for example, the wicked stepmother, the chivalrous prince, a contemplative man, a plain country fellow, etc. So, these are stock characters. The depiction of literary characters evoked a distinct flavor of the period in which they were created. E.M. Forster, in his Aspects of the Novel, published in 1927, has distinguished between flat and round characters. Flat characters were also called humors in the 17th century and sometimes called types or caricatures. Flat characters remain unchanged throughout the plot. They may have only a minor role with no life of their own, with no life in them. Flat characters are basically static. They will either be completely good or they will be completely bad. Now, all characters in animal fables and in George Orwell's Animal Farm are flat characters. So, flat character they usually find in fables. Uh, um, for example, the picture given it is about the mouse and the lion. So, the character doesn't change; it doesn't evolve. Now, round characters are three dimensional. Their personality traits are unique and well developed. A round character is usually a complex person and possesses both virtues and vices. Round characters undergo rapid changes throughout the plot of the novel. These characters are dynamic and change a lot as the plot unfolds. Most of Jane Austen's characters are round. For example, Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice is a very dynamic character. She changes a lot. At the end of the novel, we find a different Elizabeth. Juliet in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet is also an example of a round character. In the beginning of the play, we find Juliet as a naive and a very obedient girl, very loyal to her family, but soon she transforms after meeting Romeo. She transforms into a very courageous, a bold, and a resourceful woman. According to E.M. Foster, the test of a round character is whether it is capable of surprising in a convincing way. If it never surprises, it is flat. If it does not convince, it is a flat character pretending to be round. A round character has the incalculability of life about it, life within the pages of a book.